To lead the Skol chant and sound the Yaller horn, please welcome the 31st Adjutant General of the Minnesota National Guard, Major General John Jensen.
Well, hello, this is John Randall, Minnesota Vikings legend, and it is my pleasure to say, Minnesota Vikings fans uncensored, are you ready? Keith, get your people up. Let's go. Skol, 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 baby. Let's go.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody. Hello, Vikings fans. Welcome to the Let's Go Show, week 32 of the off-season. I'm Fish. And as always, I got with me Mr. Positivity, Cody Bowden. Keith is actually in the forefront and not in the back front doing his Keith stuff. Thank you, Rinaldi. Shaq will be joining us in a little bit. Yada, yada, yada. We are 27 days away from the first game of the 2026 NFL season. Any Vikings players come to mind when you hear that number? I can think of one. You know what I'm saying? The QB battle is over. Kyler Murray has officially been named the Minnesota Vikings starting quarterback for week 1. What does that mean for J.J. McCarthy and the future of the Vikings? What did KOC have to say about Murray and McCarthy and what this means for the Vikings QB situation moving forward? I don't know. You know, we've been hearing a lot about the rookies lately, but oddly, we've kind of not been hearing a whole lot about Jacoby Thomas. And I know, like a lot of you, that I was kind of excited to see if he might get off a little bit. What's going on with him? The Vikings signed a linebacker a couple weeks ago. Now he's a safety. Is he a linebacker? Is he? Preseason's here. Are you excited for it? I know I am. What should we be watching for? What battle should we be keying in on? I played You Got Stumped with a special guest. You might have heard of him. Stay tuned to see who he is, to see if I was able to stump him with this Vikings trivia. We will go around the Gallahorn with our takes and make some Purple Prophecy predictions. But before all that, let's break this ice. Fellas, now that we've officially survived the dog days of the offseason and preseason football is here, what was your favorite moment of the storyline of the entire Vikings offseason?
Take it, Cody.
Go ahead. I think it's pretty easy. The signing of Kyler Murray for $1.3 million.
Yeah.
I don't know. It brought in a quarterback competition, however you want to call it, and a lot of people here are saying it's good for McCarthy. It's good for McCarthy. Iron sharpens iron, all that jazz and noise. But the Kyler Murray signing for me over the offseason, it was the big news. It's the most fascinating news, most interesting news. Because if there's one end, you didn't know if Kyler Murray could even fit in this offense. And the other side of it is can he beat out J.J. McCarthy? Is he the same Kyler Murray? And we have a former number 1 overall pick on this team. And with this offense and the way he plays and his style, how can this go down for the 2026 season? So it's exciting for the season, and it was exciting for the offseason.
Yeah, I can get with that. It was an exciting storyline. Not a big fan of the fake competition, though, and I've come to that it was a fake competition, but it had good intentions, I do believe. So it is what it is. Definitely going to talk about that a little bit more in depth. For me, mine might seem boring to some, but it was when I got that text message or that alert that the Vikings had hired Teasley as the general manager. That was my number one pick going into this. When we first did that episode, trying to pick, who would be a good GM for the Vikings. Teasley's the one that I had marked, and it was because of what has been going on in Seattle over the last 10 years, and he's been a part of that. And I was hoping that we would get somebody in here with that kind of pedigree, someone that has built through the draft like the Seahawks did, someone who's won a Super Bowl like the Seahawks did. I want some of that over here, and I believe we got a little piece of that. And I was really excited when I got that message. That was one of the few times this season I was going and texting everybody, we got him. So it wasn't a player or anything, but it was the general manager. And, I feel like our previous general manager will probably get more blame than he deserves, but I do believe he deserved to lose his job. And I'm excited about the one that we have now. I was excited when we hired Kwesi, though. So we'll see how this goes. But that was definitely the high point of the offseason to me.
It was the draft, baby. It was the draft. We dedicated draft capital to the trenches. And not just once, 3 times in the first 3 rounds. We got 2 defensive tackles and an offensive lineman to be determined on where he's going to fit in. And I was just so happy we finally did it. I've been calling for this for years. And we finally did it. Everything seemed, what's the word they used? Intentional.
Yeah.
It translated. It could mean drafting for need, and that's all right. If it works out, that's okay. But yeah, just watching the draft unfold and how they went about it and who they got, how some of them appear to be panning out in OTAs and all that. I'm just saying, man, that draft was fire, and I'm looking forward to seeing them play.
Yeah, hopefully it turns out that way. And hopefully we're not just drinking purple Kool-Aid and being excited about that draft, but it was also just a good time hanging out with you guys and everybody in the chat. The draft the past 3 years has been a lot more fun than previous years. So, like Fish said, we are 27 days away from some regular football. That will be the Wednesday night football game. Some people might be wondering, how come we're not doing a countdown until the first Vikings game? Well, if we did that, we'd be going down the same player path we went down last year. I did the math, I crunched the numbers, and we'd end up talking about the same players we did last year, and I didn't want to do that, so we had to find something else. So 27 days away from the first regular season football game. When you think of that number, it's not a very prominent number in Vikings history. The first player that I could find that was worth talking about is a player that I'm not familiar with, and that's John Turner Jr. He was a cornerback safety from 1978 to 1987 for the Vikings. Probably would be considered the best player to wear 27 just based off his accolades. He played 8 seasons for the Vikings, really 7 seasons because in 87 he only played 2 games. And in the 7 seasons that he played for the Vikings, he appeared in 99 games, recording 22 interceptions, which is still tied for 8th on the Vikings all-time list. And in 2 seasons alone, he had 6 interceptions apiece. So it's kind of ball hawkish. That name ring any bells, Fish?
Oh, absolutely. I always say this, if it wasn't for the 85 Bears and that defense that they had, the 80s Vikings defense would be much more lauded. We just kind of got caught in the wash with that. But there were so many great players on that defense. We were dominant in the 80s on defense. Look at what we did to the 49ers in the divisional round and what we did, I believe, previous week to the Saints. We were just dominant. There were so many good players, like Hall of Famers at every level in that defense. And, this guy, if it wasn't for the fact that he was in such a stacked defense for so long, he would probably be a Ring of Honor candidate.
Oh, really?
I'm just saying, the guy had a great career with us. But, man, next to everybody else.
Makes sense. I mean, 7 full seasons with the Vikings. He had 2 seasons with 6 interceptions and a 3rd season with 5 interceptions. So pretty
He's
solid.
He's like an 8.5 that was just surrounded by 10s. It's like
you love making those analogies.
I do. It's simple. It's effective. Us guys, we get it. We're visual.
What's up, Tommy?
What a bunk.
And look at Brev. Claire Walsh, 27-yard missed field goal. Just killed the number right there. And then after that, probably my favorite player to wear number 27, and that's Corey Fuller. He was a cornerback for the Vikings from 1995 to 1998. Drafted in the second round of the 95 draft and played his 4 seasons here. Had 10 interceptions, 7 forced fumbles. And he was regarded as one of the hardest hitting cornerbacks, during the 90s. Regarded as a very physical and aggressive player. Even when he went on to play for, I believe it was the Browns and the Ravens. He was just known for being a hard hitting, aggressive cornerback, described as, a linebacker playing cornerback. He tallied 300 tackles in the 4 seasons here, which that's a pretty high number for a cornerback. And one of my all-time favorite plays for the Vikings is a Corey Fuller play. Boom! Smacked Antonio Freeman. I mean, it makes it all that much better that it was Antonio Freeman, because Antonio Freeman was a pain in our butts back in those days. But look at this. Oh, look at the ball go flying. I know it's not the greatest video, but it's the only one I could find, and I wanted to show it.
Freeman kept his head on that inside pursuit.
I'm going to watch the replay right here. Boom! And it was clean. It was clean. He led with the shoulder. Like Fish said, he might have got a call for a little bit of a launch, but I'll take it.
What happened? Why did he only play 4 seasons with Minnesota?
He only played 4 seasons with Minnesota. Then he played like 6 more with the Browns and Ravens. So I'm guessing his rookie contract was up, 4 seasons.
Yeah.
And now I still see him popping up on social media. I think he's like a high school football coach, but like, at a very high level.
Go Cam Dantzler, my tiny Dantzler.
Cam Dantzler. Man, I really had high hopes for Cam Dantzler, and I believe he was like kind of one of those players that kind of got shitted on a little more than he deserved. I thought he was a decent cornerback, but it seems like there might have been a little more to it than that with Cam Dantzler. There might have been like some personal issue and some personality issues. I think he might have been a little bit weird.
A little too small. A little bean Polish.
The needle.
I'm not even talking about his play on the field. Like, I just think maybe a weird locker guy, weird habits. I don't know. There just seems something off about him.
Christian Wilkins weird?
Maybe. And then the next standout to wear number 27, I use standout lightly. He really had one good season, and that was safety Brian Russell. He had an 8-year NFL career, started with the Vikings, played 3 of them here. And his second season was probably one of the best in Minnesota Vikings history by a safety. He had 9 interceptions, which is second most in team history behind Paul Krause. He also had 11 passes defended, a sack, and 95 tackles. Just a monster season for a safety. However, most Viking fans probably know him because of what happened in 2003. With their playoff hopes on the line, all the Vikings had to do was not let the Arizona Cardinals score a 28-yard touchdown on 4th and 25 on the last play of the game. Well, that's when Josh McCown went back, threw it deep, and Brian Russell was the Vikings defender that pushed the receiver out of bounds, which today would not have been a touchdown. But back then, they would rule it if they were pushed out. Would they have landed in bounds? And if so, it's a catch. So once again, it's one of those things that screw the Vikings, and then a couple years later, they end up changing the rule.
It goes from terrible defensive back play to, hey, that's really good DB play. That's just a joke of a rule. And I remember watching that game. I remember watching my dad watching that game, and just watching the soul get sucked out of his body. Like, oh.
Were you watching that game live, Fish? No, I was. Nope. This is be funny because Tommy likes to call me Kmart Keith. I was actually working at Kmart during that game, and I worked in the electronics department, and that game was on the TV, 30 of them, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, we're gonna go to the playoffs because all we had to do is win that game and we go to the playoffs." And then I watched that play, and I'm stunned. Like I had to go take my break and like cry about it. I couldn't believe it because not only did it eliminate us from the playoffs, it put the Packers in the playoffs. And they got to play the Seahawks, which is a team that we had beaten like 34-13 a couple weeks before that. So we would have gone to the playoffs and played a team that we could have beat. So it was just battle around. And now every year we see that play. Some sort of fashion, we see that play shown on some kind of highlight film or something somewhere. Just being a Viking fan, you see that play all the time. You see it when you see Josh McCown on the damn sideline. You can't look at that guy and not think of that play at least some of the time. When he's over there smirking and smiling when we're losing to the Chargers by 4 freaking scores. Yeah. I was folding laundry during that play. Haven't folded laundry during the game since. That's funny, Rinaldi. Brev. Yeah, see, sometimes like it's crazy when I'm telling some of these stories, I'm starting to feel a little bit like an old head. I think I'm finally getting there. So that's our number 27s. Before we get into the Viking news, did want to shout out Teddy Bridgewater, who did announce his retirement again. This is his second time retiring from the Lions. Something about that team makes him not want to play football. But the funny thing is he retired, so the Lions are like, oh, dang, we need to go out and get a backup. What they do? Go get another ex-Viking. Sign Joshua Dobbs.
Yeah, doesn't push the needle for me.
I don't know. So for about Teddy Bridgewater, though, do you guys consider him a big what if, or was he kind of just like a really nice guy that the fans liked?
I would say a big what if, because he was only in his fourth year with us. And we were just coming off of that playoff loss to the Seahawks, and he didn't play terrible at all. He's just the guy we needed to move the change, and I think the Minnesota Vikings to this day are still looking for that guy at quarterback. I think Teddy Bridgewater might have been the last Minnesota Vikings quarterback that did anything for us, really. Could have won multiple playoff games, because you look at Sam Darnold intern here, won 14 games. Hasn't won the play. Oh, Case Keenum, but he's a one offer.
He won more than Teddy Bridgewater won.
Yeah, one offer.
And I'm not trying to take away from Teddy Bridgewater. I'm mad you made me do that right now, but I had to.
It's a what if to me. I mean, we drafted him, probably our most successful drafted quarterback next to Fran Tarkenton, if you really think about it. I mean, Dante Culpepper was good and all, but Randy Moss was the whole show on that team. So, and Teddy Bridgewater didn't have really those guys out there catching that ball like Randy Moss or Justin Jefferson. So it's a big what if.
I think more importantly, he was Mike Zimmer's guy. And he was the one that Mike Zimmer wanted. And quite frankly, I think him going down is the reason the fracture even happened between him and Spielman. If Teddy B would, even if it would have been a moderate career with the Vikings where he didn't do anything exceptional, Mike Zimmer might still be our head coach. I'm just saying. Because Teddy did enough for Mike where he could have just kept his defense rolling, and we could have won some football games with Teddy. We were on that path.
It is crazy how much Zimmer did love Teddy with how much Zimmer did not like quarterbacks. There was just something about Teddy that he loved, which, I guess makes sense. The fan base really loved him, even though he wasn't that great. But I think we saw him kind of getting there. Like that playoff game against the Seahawks, he didn't really do much, but that final drive when we needed it to get us down there in the field to give us a chance to win the game, he did that. And then Blair Walsh messed that up with the number 27-yard field goal.
Well, I think it's more like this was our first-round pick quarterback with Mike Zimmer, where he probably got emotionally invested in the process of drafting him. And so this was his guy. This was the guy. Yes, this is my quarterback. And then
when I got that notification that he was injured, that was probably a top 5 gut punch in my sports history.
Mhm.
Like it took the wind out of me at work.
Yeah. I remember sitting in the office typing up on some evaluation reports, and I heard about it, and I was like, "What?" It didn't want me to make me watch football during that season. Like I was that done with the Minnesota Vikings. But is it a good thing, a bad thing? Like we got Case Keenum. I mean, then the bad thing is we had a slew of quarterbacks after that. I don't know how many different starting quarterbacks came on this team after Teddy. So that he's the one that started our run on that. There's this multiple starting. I think there's probably over 7 or I know there's 9 different starters for KOC. How many different starters for Mike Zimmer after that? It's sad day.
I have no illusions saying that Teddy would have been like some Hall of Fame QB or something, but he would have been our franchise quarterback. There would have been stability at that position for a while if he didn't go down, and other things could have been built on.
How much would you be willing to pay Teddy Bridgewater? What if he became like a top?
Nothing.
Quarterback.
Nothing. No. At this point, no. I'm good. We have a pretty solid backup, in my opinion, right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying if he didn't get hurt, how much was he going to get paid?
I don't know. Like,
I'll tell you what, his QB, his contract would have been more flexible than Cousins.
Cousins got to catch it straight. He had to catch it straight in this conversation. Yeah, we got a solid third string quarterback as well, Brev. Thanks for pointing that out. So, Teddy, best of luck to you whenever you do. Probably go back into coaching, but we do have our own quarterback situation currently going on. And after a couple months, a much debated QB battle the Vikings have had is now over. The name Kyler Murray, their starter. So
our starter.
Kyler Murray is my quarterback. I'm not going to be one of those that are mad about it and try to root against him or say bad stuff or hope he fails. Kyler Murray is my quarterback. So I'll just set the tone with that. But I know really we're all relieved that it's over. It was kind of a long, drawn-out process. It kind of felt like, it really only lasted like 10 days. But, Cody, how do you feel now knowing Kyler Murray will be our starter week 1?
Let's get the season rolling. Or let's start working on this offense, and start really pushing the issue here. I was big on the Kyler Murray signing, and then watching him during camp, I was like, oh man, it's close between him and JJ McCarthy. If it's close, that doesn't say much for Kyler Murray. I thought, oh man, this is going to be a rough season. How's this going to go down? And then he becomes the starter, and all of a sudden he's lights out during camp, smoking the hell out of our defense. It's like a switch just went off for some reason. So I'm still up in the air about it. Is Kyler Murray going to fit? It's like Fish says, square peg, round hole. How is he going to fit in this offense? How's the season's going to go down? This could go either way. I mean, it could honestly get KOC fired, or it can keep him here for a very, very long time. So I think all the chips are on Kyler Murray when it comes to KOC's job.
Fish, gotta ask you, when you first got that notification, Kyler Murray has won the starting job. Your reaction, please.
Well, I promised myself that I was going to kind of keep it down, with things that have happened. But Kyler Murray's ass, he ain't going to do shit in this system. He's going to be a square peg in a round hole. If you think he's going to lead us to the promised land, you're fucking insane. He is not going to do shit. He's our best chance at a top 5 draft pick in a QB-rich draft. The best thing about signing Kyler Murray, whatever his last name is.
Murray, whatever.
Who cares, is he's $1.3 million. That's it. He will not be the starter after the bye week.
If Kyler Murray's ass, that means JJ McCarthy's dog shit.
No, it was a tip scale.
Yeah. I don't know how I actually feel about the competition. I don't feel that it was real. I felt like it was an unfair bar for McCarthy. I do think that they were using it strategically, though. I do think they were trying to pull the best out of JJ McCarthy to progress on his development, but I don't think there was ever any real chance that he was going to beat him out. And what's crazy is Kyler Murray didn't look great in any of the clips that we've seen. You know, sounds like he had one solid day of training camp. And I had said like he should have to, totally be pulling away in order to be named the starter. To the point when they named him starter, I don't believe that had happened. But what's crazy is the last couple of days after being named the starter,
lights out.
It's been looking better. Like the highlights are getting better, the comments are getting better, the spectators that are tweeting is getting better. Like it's like all of a sudden, like I've seen some throws, and seen him doing some throws on the run. It's like, all right, this could work. This could work. So I mean, like I've said in the past, this could definitely work this season. That Kyler Murray starting probably is the best thing for the 2026 Vikings. I don't know if this is the best thing for them past 2026. It may have jeopardized something, maybe not. We'll have to wait and see. But as of right now, I'm on board.
Mm-hmm.
What defense is he practicing against the last 2 days?
What was that?
What defense is he practicing against the last 2 days?
Brian Flores.
Yeah, Brian Flores. Both the ones.
Yeah,
and twos.
I mean, is
Both
he going against the ones?
Yeah, ones and twos. It's been like that.
Ones and twos now. Okay.
Yeah.
It's the way it's been the whole time. So with Kyler Murray being the starter, Cody, like, what are your expectations of him?
So I liked saying this or looking back on the Minnesota Vikings. Every time we insert a veteran quarterback into the system, somehow we're doing well. I don't under KOC. I don't get the process. We totally think we're ass backwards. We're ass backwards on the rookie quarterback situation. I felt like we should have probably built around McCarthy instead of just inserting him into an already established offense and scheme. Like, all right, learn how to ride this car, and I think that was the wrong way of doing about it. But when you insert a veteran on this offense, my expectations is 10 wins, and especially with Kyler Murray coming in here and the odds that the media has about him, hey, this team could be a dark horse. This team could be really, really good. This offense is going to be lights out, predicting 4,000 passing yards for Murray and 37 touchdowns or something. I've seen a graphic today. So I'm expecting 10 wins. I'm expecting a good season from Murray. And it has to be a good season, not just for him, but for KOC. Again, I think his chips are all in on Kyler Murray this year. And the best thing KOC has on that is Kyler Murray himself, because he's playing for a contract. So he's going to go out there and he's going to try to play for that contract and do well.
As our offense is set up, I don't think that he's a fit. But KOC did speak afterwards, and one of the things he said was it's good to get Kyler Murray the work right now and get him all the snaps because, we have our scheme, but we're also implementing a new scheme, and we're going to tailor this to what our players do good. So, Fish, do you think that KOC is going to tailor his offense to a dual threat quarterback that doesn't stand in the pocket?
I'll believe it when I see it, and then I might not even believe it. I think it's Lucy with the football. My honest feeling is that, we're going to say all the right things, but in the back it's still, okay, let's see if this former number 1 overall pick can run my offense the way I want it to. And he's going to try. And it ain't going to work.
I think the fact that they're already, going out of shotgun and pistol is showing a change. That's not something that KOC does.
Yeah, they're already changing that.
They took more snaps out of shotgun last year than it was crazy. That's the one thing where Kyler fits is he's used to coming out of shotgun, but everything else from snapping the ball, he doesn't fit. So last year we were not an under the center offense, guys. We barely ran the damn ball. We were not under the center. We were back in the gun most of the time.
I mean, you don't run every time you're under the center.
I know.
You play.
We were back in the gun most of the time. We didn't do a lot of that either, Keith. We just were back in the gun, throwing the ball.
Yeah.
My expectations are low. However, if KOC actually does what he says he's going to do, then things could become great. But as I said to somebody else, I hope that there is a camera, that the network's dedicated camera when we have televised games right onto KOC, so that way when Kyler does do some of his Superman stuff and he makes some exciting stuff happen, that they go right to KOC's face to see his reaction. That'll be beautiful TV. He don't want that. He wants Kyler to stay in the pocket, make his reads, deliver the ball down the field.
I don't know about that.
I don't know either. I think he's pretty excited right now.
How long has KOC been our coach? 1 year, 2 years?
How long has he had a quarter? How long has he had a quarterback under 6 foot?
He's had athletic quarterbacks before,
but they were over 6 foot and could see over the line. So I mean,
student body left, so that way Kyler can see down the field.
Yeah, pretty much. And plus, you have Frank Smith, who had Tua as his quarterback over there in Miami. It's kind of the same kind of thing. I really think we're going to be doing a lot of the same things that the Dolphins did. That's why they brought him here. That's why he's an assistant coach.
Mm-hmm.
But what kind of bugs me just a little bit is saying that they're going to change the scheme to tailor what their players do best. JJ McCarthy got to be punching air right now. Like, where was this while he was being forced into a round hole, right, Cody?
Yeah, forced to a round hole. I mean, I thought that it might just be, if we can admit this, that JJ McCarthy was ass. It might just be that. Like, it's something we don't even want to talk about, right? Because we're on the JJ McCarthy train. We like the kid. We want him to be here. But what if he was just ass? What if he was truly bad? But yeah, it does make me kind of mad seeing that he's changing the offense to a specific quarterback, which we should have been building around that specific quarterback and JJ McCarthy. So I can see where both sides are fighting.
So where does Kyler Murray rank among the quarterbacks in the NFC North?
Fourth.
I
got to see something. I had to see it. I had to see it to believe it. I'm putting Caleb Williams, Jared Goff, and Jordan Love above him as of right now. I have to see something from Murray, because Murray's time in Arizona, Jordan Love has beaten that at his time with Green Bay. Same with Caleb Williams under his 2 seasons. If we get 2020 Kyler Murray back, where he threw for 37 touchdowns, 830 rushing yards, he might be the best quarterback in the North. It's a coin flip. What are we going to get out of Kyler Murray this year?
Fifth behind Wentz. That's funny.
Wentz is taking a lot more reps in practice right now, so I don't know.
Well, he's probably getting ready for playing.
And that's the thing. We think the quarterback drama is over. It's not. It's not. There's still more. There's still more to this. And McCarthy, he missed his entire rookie season, struggled across 10 games last season, and now he's sitting behind Kyler. What do you guys think this means for McCarthy as a Minnesota Viking?
Nothing. McCarthy will stay on the Minnesota Vikings. That people saying he's gone, he's going to be traded. If you trade McCarthy right now, it makes that Sam Darnold situation a whole lot worse, because you just said, well, we're going to let Sam Darnold walk, and then you only start McCarthy for a year. That is bad organizational handling of the quarterback right there. Super bad.
But they fired the GM who did that, so they could probably wash their hands of that. But I got to ask you, Cody, what swayed you? Because I believe there's a hot take in there from you, and doubling down on it that if McCarthy doesn't win, he will be traded, and that one of these quarterbacks are not going to finish on this team. So is Kyler Murray going to get traded still?
No,
or
I mean,
what swayed you? What made you change to believe that JJ McCarthy is going to end up staying with the Vikings?
He's not the Sam Darnold situation, and he's not worth nothing. He's not even worth a day 2 pick. So why give him out for a 5th or 6th round pick, and why not just keep him on the team? If Kyler Murray at the end of the season doesn't sign back with us, there's always you can fall back in McCarthy, continue with the progression and development going forward. But it's between the Sam Darnold situation and having this Seattle Seahawks, one of their dudes come into this building, knowing what they saw from Sam Darnold, him leaving a team, what it could do for your team still, is between Sam Darnold and what happens with Kyler Murray going forward.
Do you think, Fish, that this could actually end up being a good thing in the long run for J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings?
Absolutely. He will play. History has shown, like I said, no matter what side you're on, Kyler Murray or J.J. McCarthy, you're going to get your chance this year. He is going to play this year. And I have a feeling when he plays, he's going to do all right. He's going to force a very difficult decision next year about it, picking up his 5th-year option, whether or not we want to move forward with him. Oh, my gosh, there's this great QB draft in 27. Should we draft a new left tackle so maybe we have one that'll stay on the field to protect him? I don't know, all that stuff. But he's going to force some uncomfortable conversations next offseason. He's going to get a chance to play.
Rinaldi said in the comments he'll be trade bait for the right price till the deadline. I think he'll be trade bait to the deadline because if you do trade him at the deadline, that means Kyler Murray's doing pretty well in this offense, right? You're sticking with Kyler Murray for the future. So at the deadline, yeah, maybe he's gone. But that's
can't wait to see that $60 million a year contract next year.
I don't think Kyler Murray's a Viking next year. I'm going to stick to that. Hey, Steve, I don't disagree with this. But could you guys actually imagine that? Like, could you imagine the Vikings letting a quarterback walk and then he goes and has some sort of success on another team like the year after? Like, could you imagine that happening?
Again? No. No, because they won't let it happen again. They won't let it happen again. I'm a firm. If Kyler Murray wins 14 games, they're re-signing him. They're going to do everything possible to re-sign him. And you're
I was talking about J.J. McCarthy.
Oh yeah, no.
we were not here.
And I felt like for J.J. McCarthy, it probably would have taken him 3 years to be ready for be a starting NFL quarterback. You know, a legit starting NFL quarterback. 3 years, but that's 3 years of full healthy seasons, and sitting behind someone, learning, getting reps on the practice field. Yeah, I think half of those 3 years are gone. So you got to figure out how you can make up those 1.5 years going forward, and then his 5th-year option coming up in May. I think he just ran out of time, and it's not because he was bad. He's just because he wasn't getting developed, right? Because he wasn't because of the injuries. So, and it's for me, it's hard to call J.J. McCarthy a bust right now because of the injuries. Is he an injury bust? We can say that, yes, but he was going to be developed by year 3. He just hasn't hit year 3 yet, even though it's his 3rd year. He missed half of those 3 years.
So J.J. McCarthy did speak on this. He's been asked questions by reporters, and some of his comments were, look, a decision was made that was out of my control. Obviously, every competitor wants to play, but moving forward, it's just about continuing to work hard and staying ready when my number is called. And then, he was asked about, is he going to, continue to be a Minnesota Viking? He said, this is the place I want to be. And I love every single person in this building. I love the state. I love the fan base. And I'm going to continue to do whatever I can for this team and organization. Now, are you buying what he's selling, or is he just kind of playing a good soldier and maybe behind the scenes he wants to go? What do you guys think?
I think he has no other choice but to do this.
Well, right. But do you think he's doing it because he truly believes, he's going to do what he can to be a good teammate and he's going to keep developing in hopes of being the Vikings quarterback of the future? Or is he just trying to have a good image to make teams still be interested in him? If he's going up there and slamming and saying, oh, I don't know, my time here, it might be done. If they don't believe in me, then, maybe, we got to explore options. Like that's a bad look. So is he protecting his image, or is he really going to take this in stride and use it to try to still be the future of the Minnesota Vikings?
I don't know, but man, I would love to have just a breath of that type of honesty. Wouldn't you, fellas, to not have to ask that question, to have somebody, a QB, get up there and just be like, "This is some bullshit. I was beating his ass in this competition. They made this decision. Do what you want. You want to call me, I'll get out there and rock it. But you want to trade me, get what you can for me." I would love to see just that kind of brutal honesty from players instead of politics. That's all it is politics. Trying to maintain his image.
You're calling it a front. You're calling it a front.
Yeah.
And
yes.
me, like you, I want honesty, and I want to believe that what he was saying was honesty.
Yeah.
And until proven otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and hold that belief. I'm going to hold that belief that he is going to use this, to approach every day with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind, or whatever Jim Harbaugh said. Like, I do want to believe that this is going to sharpen that iron, because like I said, I don't think Kyler Murray is here next year. So this could be like last year. Like, I don't know that KOC wanted to start him yet. I think he did want Aaron Rodgers, and I think he wanted to give him the buffer season. So he might be getting that this year. And the 5th-year option's been mentioned in the comments. Yeah, the 5th-year option is probably out of the window, but that's fine. He could still compete to be our starter next year, maybe with a equal bar. Kyler Murray was never a fair bar. So I think, he hangs in there. He probably will get a chance to play this year, and he will have a good chance to be our starter next year. And if that works out, then we can work out a contract with him, just the way the Packers did. Jordan Love didn't play on his 5th-year option, so that's kind of
save us some money over that second contract doing it that way.
That's become more the norm, that the 5th year gets declined, and everyone thinks, oh, they declined his 5th year, they're not signing him, he's going to be a free agent. No, they're just working on a long-term contract that gives them more flexibility in that next season. So
I just don't like paying a quarterback after if he does have a good year, one good year. All right, he had one good year. I'm giving you multiple years, and let's say that was just a one-off. We're screwed behind that contract. Screwed, because it's going to be a big contract for quarterback.
That's true, but this is the situation we put ourselves in, and by pausing the development, by pausing the path we were on, by going and seeing other women, we're gonna have to pay for it.
I think this is a good thing. I think this is straight into McCarthy's development. I think this is good for his development. He's facing adversity now. Hey, you're getting put behind a different quarterback this year. You're second string. How does he handle that going forward? And that's a huge developmental piece, for him. How is your confidence looking training camp after being labeled the quarterback 2? How is that going forward? Are you still going to be wanting to play for this team? And right now, he's still out there practicing, still out there throwing balls. He had a slow start today, I think it was, but he turned it on again, kind of like the norm it has been for J.J. McCarthy this training camp. So I think the development process is still on track, even though he's quarterback 2. And I think this is a good thing for J.J. McCarthy.
You're calling him quarterback 2, but is he quarterback 2? Or is he now in a battle for quarterback 2? Like, is the battle over for J.J. McCarthy, actually?
I think
Carson Wentz has kind of just been sitting there waiting for his turn, and now it's like Kyler Murray's done with him, and now Carson Wentz is like, it's my turn.
Hey, look, Carson Wentz is just another guy on the outside of the room, right? I think he's battling out for quarterback 2. Does he win the job? I think he is the better quarterback for the job at quarterback 2. If he gets dropped between quarterback 3, then there's going to be some serious questions on this team.
I would try to direct her to be better instead of seeing other women. Okay. Edit that.
Hey, look, you don't know me. I might be into that kind of thing.
Oh man. See, I was hesitant about putting that on the screen.
Oh, I saw it.
Yeah, but you weren't going to respond to it till I put it on the screen. So Kyler Murray, starting quarterback. Let's say we go into it. J.J. McCarthy is QB2. Do you think that Kyler Murray has a short leash?
Mm-hmm.
Cody doesn't think so.
No, I think he has till the bye week. I mean, and it kind of makes sense too. If the team is not good by the bye week, you're not making the playoffs. So that's when you can insert your McCarthy and then try to speed up his progress or development, and so you can get him in 2027, get him ready to go faster than what you are expecting. So yeah, I don't think he's on a short leash. I think Kyler Murray is the starting quarterback, and it's going to take a very bad season. And what Dell said, release McCarthy, do him a solid. He's going to be playing quarterback 2 for some other team if he gets released. He's not moving from quarterback to quarterback 1, a starter for another team for this year, unless a significant injury happens. And if a significant injury happens to us, guess what? He's quarterback 1 for us. He's not a quarterback 1 in this league as it stands.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely he needs the year. So I'm okay with this as a JJ McCarthy fan, which I admit I am. I do think this year off could do him good. I just hope it plays out the way I'm thinking it could play out, and the way that JJ McCarthy is talking about it. This actually could be a good thing for the 2026 Vikings and the future Vikings if the Vikings and JJ McCarthy can make up after the betrayal. It's hard. It's hard to get that trust back. Not that I know from experience, but I've heard. So over under 13 and a half starts for Kyler Murray.
I'm going to go over.
Oh.
Under.
So, Fish, you're going under. Is that because of injury or because of underwhelming?
Yes. Either one. I'll die on this hill. Kyler is the starter. He ain't going to play full season. McCarthy will get his chance. If he doesn't get pulled on the bye week for playing like ass, like I think he will, then he will eventually get dinged up and hurt and not be able to play, and in comes 9.
So Dylan says the captain has never been stripped of his title, then regain it. Any examples of that happening? I was actually listening to Purple Daily earlier today, and there was an interesting one, actually. I don't know if he was a captain when he first got there. He might have been, but Matt Hasselbeck, he went from the Packers to the Seahawks, and because he went there with Holmgren, and he was their starting quarterback. And after about 8 games, it wasn't working out, and they pulled the plug, and they went and signed Trent Dilfer to a 4-year contract. Well, Trent Dilfer ended up getting injured. Hasselbeck came in, lit it up, and ended up being their quarterback for the next 9 years, including going to a Super Bowl. So you're telling me there's a chance? So if he does end up playing over those 13 and a half games, the last time he played a full season was just 2 years ago in 2024, and he had 3,900 yards and 26 touchdowns. Cody, if he ends up playing a full season here, does he eclipse those numbers?
Oh, 100%. If he plays a full season here, I expect him over 4,000 yards, easy. This is the first time where he has this amount of weapons on his offense for him, unlike the time he had in Arizona. And I always think about it. We inserted a veteran quarterback into this scheme, into these players. Veteran quarterbacks do well. Even Josh Dobbs did well, even though he was ass. You can't explain the Josh Dobbs. He figured it out and did well. So inserting him here, I expect more than 4,000 yards. This is the best weapons he's been surrounding him right now. I expect a career year out of Kyler Murray this year.
Now, do we need a career year out of Kyler Murray to be successful this year, or do we just need competent NFL starter play, top 15 quarterback play? Or do you think that Kyler Murray needs to be like a top 10 quarterback and have a career year?
He just doesn't need to be 31. I think if we were 30th in quarterback play instead of 31st or 32nd, wherever we landed last year, we'd be in the playoffs. So I'm going to say this. I think a deep run for the Minnesota Vikings if he's top 20. If he's like 19th best quarterback in the league. That's what I think. The defense is way too elite. Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl, with that elite defense. So yeah, put him in top 20. I think this team could go for a run, maybe the divisional, close game in the divisional, maybe a spot in the conference championship. If he throws for over 4,000 yards, I'm going to be saying Super Bowl contender because that defense is that elite. The offensive weapons surrounding Kyler Murray are that elite. So, yeah, mid-season, 19th in the league. We're going to the divisional playoff game, maybe a spot in the conference championship.
Okay. Fish, I do have to ask you this. Are the Minnesota Vikings failing a young quarterback?
Yes. And I want y'all to know something. All this vitriol I'm throwing out about Kyler Murray, it ain't about Kyler Murray. I don't hate the guy as a player. I think he's a talented, potentially exciting player. I think in a more quarterback-friendly scheme, I would be, hell yeah, we're going to Super Bowl, man. This kid's going to light it up. My problem is with the coach. And the coach has been in survival mode for the last year. And he ain't afraid to throw anybody under that bus to be able to survive. There is no accountability from Kevin O'Connell. And J.J. McCarthy will be the next victim of that. He is the next victim of it. It's happening right now.
You don't see it that way, Cody.
I see it as J.J. McCarthy was doomed the day we drafted him. It was just an already established scheme, established players meant to be playing on that scheme. And you thought, oh, here, we're just going to insert him and see what happens. You know, I think that's the wrong way if you're drafting a quarterback. If you're drafting a quarterback, you're building completely around him. You knew who J.J. McCarthy was in college. 700 passes in 3 years. 6,000 yards in 3 years. You knew who he was, right? So if you knew all that information, you probably should have went out and signed a different running back other than Aaron Jones. You should have bolstered your offense to a run game offense. J.J. McCarthy never fit in this offense. You're expecting a dude who only threw for 700 pass attempts and 6,000 yards in 3 years. Oh, here, you're in shotgun. Go for it. You were expecting that. That wasn't J.J. McCarthy. That was not J.J. McCarthy. Was not asked to do that, and he was asked to do that right away here when he came to Minnesota. So I think he was doomed the day we drafted him. I always said veterans are meant to be inserted. Rookies are meant to be built around. We didn't do the build around.
Well, I'm going to hope that his story isn't over. And like KOC said, he holds his own pen, basically saying he does write his own story and how this thing goes. So I'm going to hold out hope that there is still a future for J.J. McCarthy here. But I am going to root for Kyler Murray to win a Super Bowl. Like I'm rooting for that. Like I said, he is my quarterback. He's all of our quarterback. And we're going to root for him. And Skol Vikings. We will probably be talking about this a little bit more over the next couple of weeks. I mean, it's obviously little stuff's going to come out here and there that we'll have to address, but we should get into training camp and maybe even talk a little bit about the preseason. But before we do that, let's take a little break from all this seriousness. And Fish, you had a special guest for You Got Stumped this week.
Yeah, buddy. So, for those of you who might be living under a rock, we've got this segment called You Got Stumped. It's a trivia game where I give clues, and you have to guess what the category is, what the answer is. Excuse me. And this week, and those of you who know that it is tough to get rap locked down. Well, I finally got rap locked down. And we played a little game of You Got Stumped. And the rules are simple. I ask you where you're confident in your Vikings fandom. If you tell me I'm a 98 baby like so many people are, I ain't asking you nothing about no mid-80s Vikings. It ain't happening like that. I keep it in your fandom. I try to keep it fun. And away we go.
All right, so here's You Got Stumped. Our host, Michael Fish. Our guest, Rap, a.k.a. Vocal Vike.
to another episode of Let's Skulls. You got stumped. Today, I got rap. And let's get right into this thing.
Oh, man, here we go.
Your category is what player was this?
All right. Let's go, man.
Your first clue, Minnesota Vikings drafted him in the 4th round of the 2012 draft.
2012 draft, 4th round.
You remember who else we drafted in 12 in the 1st round?
Was that Ponder year?
Was that the Hitman year?
No, that was Hitman year. Was that Hitman year? Okay.
I believe so,
okay.
yeah.
4th round.
Just trying to get your wheels turning.
Yeah. Let's see.
Okay.
And by the way, y'all, I suck at trivia like this, but I'm going to get this tonight. I'm winning this.
Your second clue.
Yeah, second clue.
I played my college ball at USC.
Ooh,
There
okay.
it is.
2012 USC. 2012 USC. Hold on, give me a second. Let me think about this here. USC. Okay, what's my next clue?
My first 5 years were played with Minnesota. Now I'm going to jump right into the next clue. And then my last 3 years were played with the Giants.
Kyle Rudolph.
Kyle Rudolph. That's your answer?
And
one down,
fuck, he didn't.
two
Hold
to
on,
go.
he didn't play at USC. Where did he? Oh, I don't know why I thought freaking Giants, and I went right to Kyle Rudolph. I'm like, oh, that's Kyle Rudolph. Isn't it?
During the 5 years with the Vikings, I played in 73 games and 41 starts. You know that ain't no Kyle Rudolph.
Yeah.
Let me give you the next one.
Please. God dang, bro. Why is this so hard, Fish? You had to do this, didn't you? Humiliation at its best, man.
Yeah, man. Just straight up subjugation. You're going to pay all the penalties for the forefathers. Okay. And during that time, I had a total in my career with the Vikings of 51 receptions for 515 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Also, it is a receiver. So I was actually not too far off. I was on a pass catcher. So let me see, 51 receptions. 51
That's over
receptions.
5 years. My last year with the Vikings, I had 1 rush attempt for 1 yard and 1 TD.
So
It's
2016.
tough.
Hold on, he paid. Hold on, I think I may know. I think I'm getting hot here. I'm trying to remember. USC 2012 4th round. And hold on, can you go back to that? What was the clue before this again? Can you do that?
51 receptions,
No, the one before that.
515
What was the one
yards,
before
3
that?
touchdowns.
What was the one before? Was there
Played in 73
okay.
games and 41 starts over 5 years.
I'm gonna get it. I feel like I'm getting high. I think I have a good idea.
Okay, here's your last
Thanks.
clue. Like Max Bredesen, I was a fullback / tight end hybrid.
Oh, that's Rhett Ellison.
Rhett Ellison, is that your final answer?
Final, it has to be because he was the only once I seen fullback tight end, that has to be him. Is that it?
Rhett
Let's
Ellison.
go. Let's go. Yes. Bro, I was like, dang it, bro. I was on the when I said Kyle Rudolph, though, I'm like, all right, I was in the position. I'm like, fuck, 2012, bro, that was hard though. Dang.
That's pretty good.
Got you, Fish.
Yeah.
It was looking grim there for a minute, but
Yeah.
he got you.
I like when he says, I think I'm getting hot. And then you told him, hey, it's a fullback tight end. And he's like, wait, maybe I wasn't so hot. Oh, it's Rhett Ellison.
Well, I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't have got that one
Oh,
without looking up 1 or 2 of those clues.
Yeah, I was thinking Bucky Hodges for some reason until the receiving yards came out. And
I
Bucky
mean,
was-
in USC, you think that's almost a giveaway because we haven't drafted many players from USC. I was waiting for it to be like John David Booty, but I was like, nah, I think we drafted him in the 5th round.
I looked at it like I think it was Brev who said it early on. Oh, we had multiple picks in the 4th round. It's
We did.
really why I took it, because I was like, I even said it to Rap afterward when we were just kind of cutting it up. I said, if you're some kind of like draft junkie, it would have thrown you off at least for a clue or two, because we took 3 people in the 4th round in that draft. So Shaq would have got it based on the USC. He knows every player we've drafted from USC.
Yeah, all 5 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is you got stumped. If anybody wants to come on and make Fish lose for what, a 5th time in a row?
Man, I've got one very rough win in the middle of all that everybody seems to want to remind me about. But hey,
I think Brev should be next. I know Brev did it on the live little preempt, but or promptu, whatever.
I'll take a rematch against Brev.
I think Brev's
Brev's like, yeah, my year I started being comfortable was 2025. Fish, what you got? No, I'll play a rematch against. Look, man, I try to make it fun. I try to make it interesting. I like it when, oh my gosh, I don't have this in the early goings. And then as the clues keep coming in, the things start to lock into place and people start to figure it out. I like it like that. I like them a little crazy. And so anybody wants to play, just hit us up. Be more than happy to get together with you. We'll play. I need somebody for next week.
Yeah, I'll do it. But one of the clues have to be someone called a miracle, but you wouldn't.
So in 2017, this player led us to
Case
the
Keenum.
NFC.
Why would we say 2017? Case Keenum.
Yeah.
All right. So back at it. And there wasn't really a whole lot of news coming out of training camp this week aside from the quarterback battle. We had the night practice, and unfortunately we weren't able to see much of it. Fox 9 acted like they were going to be showing it, and all they did was show some stretching and some warm-ups, and anytime they were about to do something, they turned away. But we did have one guy named Dusty who was showing us a little bit something on Rap's channel, so thankful for that, Dusty.
Way to take it for the team, buddy.
I honestly think the biggest news coming out of camp was Jamal Adams wearing a new number. Changed from 54 to 32. Pretty interesting. The interesting thing about that is, even though the numbers have gotten looser on positions in the NFL, you can't wear number 54 and play safety. But number 32, you can play safety and you can play linebacker. So do you guys think that this is a move to put him back at safety because maybe Harrison Smith's not coming back? Or do you think this is just more about flexibility?
I think it's more about flexibility. I think it also is about, okay, you're looking at 2 position groups that Jamal Adams can play on this team. He's making the 53. So when it comes down to the determination of who you're going to cut to make that 53, you now can choose from 2 different positions, linebacker or safety, right? You don't want to have on your depth chart 7 inside linebackers on your team for the 53. It makes a lot more sense to having the 5 on the inside linebacker and then the 4 with safety, right? So I think that's what it is. Adding that another piece of that another number to that safety room, so like if you do cut a linebacker, it still lines up with your 53. So I like it, and I definitely think it's a versatile thing.
Fish, I know you're not a fan of the hybrid player, but what do you think about it in this instance when you're, basically bringing a guy kind of off the street to, to kind of provide you some depth at 2 different positions? It's not really a positionless starter, I don't think he's going to be, but more of just a guy you could plug and play at multiple positions or give some different looks.
Well, I like what Cody just brought up for the take. I like this, the strategery, if you will, of this move. It gives us that flexibility in what kind of roster move will we make towards the 53. Now, afterward, I don't want none of this flexibility. If we got to cut a center, and I'm the center, pardon me. Does he play center?
He can play center. We might have to cut a center.
Okay. Is he a backup center? if we got to cut a safety, and that's the way we go, make him a damn safety, okay? Or if we got to cut a linebacker, make him a linebacker. Put him in the roster, put him in the defense according to that. But I like the fact that we have that flexibility now, because those are two positions where it's like we don't quite see 100% of what it is yet. Like I alluded to in the beginning, we haven't heard anything about Jacoby Thomas and really, what he's done. I think that Chuck Demings is currently doing and making those little splash plays like what we thought Jacoby Thomas might. So if safety's where it's got to be, where they need a little bit more, another man on the wall, then okay.
So for a second, you had me there. You had me in the first half, not going to lie. I thought you were actually going to come around and like the positionless football player. I tried to even talk it. I even tried to sweeten it up a little bit for you, and not Fish ain't having it. Like, yeah, I like it. But then after they cut the players, pick up their position. Mm-hmm. You're either a safety or a linebacker. You can't be both.
Put him in linebacker and drop Dallas Turner back to safety, and let's have at it.
Yeah. And what's scary, he's already with the ones right now. So that's Jamal Adams still has some gas left in the tank. And I didn't think he did after the injury. I thought, career's over for him. He's bouncing around from practice squads. He's switching teams. 3 teams in 18 months? I was like, oh, this is over with. I'm back on the Jamal Adams hype train. I think he's
the doctor told him when he had that surgery, what was on was his thigh or whatever, that it was going to be 2 to 3 years until he had his full explosiveness back. Mm-hmm. It's now been 3 years, and he showed signs last year for the Raiders, so he's probably ready to rock. And if he had never gotten hurt, he would still be a really good player. Maybe not elite, but a really good player. So now that he's fully recovered, we might have a really good player on our hands. And I like the fact that he can play multiple positions. He's going to be kind of like Metellus. And that I know that kind of gets old saying that guy's going to play the Metellus role. I feel like we're saying that about more and more players every year. Like Jay Ward, oh, yeah, he's kind of like a Metellus. Like now Adams, he's kind of like a Metellus. It's like how many Metelluses can we have? Mm-hmm. Is there a limit?
No, not on B-Flow's defense. I don't think. I think everybody's on the line of scrimmage to start the snap, and then you do your motions and the deceits out there and passing off coverages.
So we had said at first when he came in as a linebacker, we thought, hey, Ivan Pace might be in a little bit of trouble. Like that's going to be the cut to make room for him. It doesn't sound like that's going to be the case because now he's playing like multiple positions, but also special teams coach Matt Daniels came out and actually praised Ivan Pace a lot. And he said that, Pace is a natural leader. He has an elite motor, relentless, and an aggressive play style. He also emphasized that it's not even a competition for a roster battle going on in camp. He said, Pace's motor, playmaking ability, and value on special teams make him an undeniable asset that will have a spot on Sundays. And he emphasized that Pace's spot is completely safe. So with that being said, is there another player, who we thought probably would have made the team that might be in some kind of danger?
I'm not going to blame my special teams coach.
Jay Ward?
Yeah.
I could see some validity to that because we've been waiting for him to pop, and I don't know that they're ready to give up on him yet. But what about maybe Theo Jackson? I haven't looked at his contract to see what we could get out of if we let him go, but I know we gave him more than he deserved. Like he's making like $4 to $5 million a year, so I could actually see that being the casualty, or maybe they just cut Eric Wilson.
Yeah. I think
we're fighting, man.
I was just trying to get a reaction there.
I think it's between Theo Jackson.
My blood pressure meds real quick.
I think it's between Theo Jackson and Ivan Pace. I think you can. You're going to make room for Jamal Adams, and if it has to be Ivan Pace, I don't care what the special teams coach has to say. In the day, it's Brian Flores has to say. So it's between one of them two, and the flexibility of moving into 32, having played multiple positions, you can have that flexibility of cutting one of those two positions.
So I kind of mentioned it a little bit in here talking, but no one really answered it. Do you think this could have anything to do with what's going on with Harrison Smith?
No, because if you bring Harrison Smith, you're cutting Theo Jackson and Ivan Pace, so no.
I think maybe the initial signing of Jamal Adams might have been for Harrison Smith, but now we're riding with him. It seems like we're riding with Jamal Adams, period. And maybe he's played his way into that spot in practice where, oh, hey, this dude's all right, you know? Okay, so maybe if old Hitman comes back, maybe he ain't the one on the block, you know? Maybe it's some of these other guys that have had plenty of opportunities and ain't shown shit. So maybe initially it was like, Harrison Smith, man, we need somebody. Oh, Jamal, gotcha. But now it's probably more like Harrison Smith comes back. Yo, Theo, love you, babe. Love you.
I mean, I can see that happening, but I'm just saying initially he was brought here as a linebacker. So it really didn't have anything to do with Harrison Smith. But now they're putting him back there at safety and giving him a safety number. It's like, oh, maybe he's not coming back. And you know what? We didn't go sign any other safeties.
I think he comes back.
Man, could you imagine having Harrison Smith and Jamal Adams 5 years ago?
Yeah, that'd be nasty. I just hope Jamal Adams wears the two tapes around his elbows and has the little sweatbands on his wrist still and doesn't come out in something different attire-wise.
I hope he comes out in the Road Warrior spiked shoulder pads.
I'm down. So while we're talking about the defense has been looking good. And, you know, all the clips I've seen and everything I've read about the training camps, the defense is swarming. And I don't know how to take that sometimes. I'm like, well, awesome. Our defense is playing good. I was like, damn, our line's sucking. They're getting to the quarterback. And, you know, the quarterback's not getting rid of the ball. But it is our defense. And, you know, Dallas Turner's getting to the quarterback. This is what we wanted. So it's kind of that give and take with it. Should we be excited about this defense? Or, you know, should we, you know, kind of pump the brakes a little bit? This is training camp. Let's wait and see. Where are you at, Cody?
I'm excited about this defense. Watching the practices and the highlights from the past 2 days, though, there is a concerning thing, which has been a concerning thing for the Minnesota Vikings. It's when there's a mobile quarterback in there. Watching Kyler Murray wrap the field from sideline to sideline and throw off platform throws into the numbers, hitting JJ constantly. It's kind of getting me worried on the defense in the sense of facing a guy like Kyler Murray, especially with Caleb Williams, sometimes Jordan Love into the season. But I'm still excited about this defense. I think it's an elite defense. I think it's going to be a better defense than it was last year. And last year's defense was 3rd and 4th in multiple categories, 7th in scoring. Like, I'm super excited about the defense. Still on the train.
Fish, are you at all concerned that we might go into this season starting like 3 rookies or maybe getting upwards to 5 rookies starting on this defense?
Oh, my God, I hope so. Man, I hope so, because that would be the biggest step towards starting to come back from the last 4 years. Getting younger, having more starters out of the draft, developing them, being able to draft instead of go to free agency. If we had 4 starters out of this draft and then next year we could bring up 3, shit. Pay Kyler Murray $60 million if he has a great season. Go on. Because we're going to have so many rookie contracts starting for us that it's going to be like, well, we can afford to do that. I mean, I hope so. I call it. I wanted 3 starters out of this draft. It's looking good. we get 4 or 5, that's just some beautiful, sweet ass gravy on top of them mashed potatoes. I'd be so happy, it'd be crazy. And especially defense, because we have asked Brian Flores to do what's virtually impossible the last few years while he's been with Minnesota. And finally, to give him some pedigree and some youth to be able to get something out of. And, it would just be so great for the future of this franchise to just think
it's crazy because that was basically Kwesi's mission when he came in here, was to get this roster younger. And by the time he left, the roster got older. So
because he couldn't draft for shit.
It's pretty amazing what 3 months of Rob B could do.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I do think it's a good thing if we can get those guys starting, especially if it's someone like Golday. Like, we didn't draft Golday to be a starter. We drafted him, to develop and progress into, probably taking Eric Wilson's spot or Van Ginkel, wherever they're going to decide to play him. But he's out there showing out and showing versatility to where they're like, man, like we're going to have to get this kid some run. And you think about Demings. They didn't draft him, expecting him to, be competing for the cornerback 3 or cornerback 4 spot, but he is. So like, these are good things. And now you have the defensive line, you got Banks and Orange. Like, they could potentially be starting day 1. Like, this is good things. Jacoby Thomas, we'll see. We haven't heard a lot about him yet, but you gotta believe that the safety, position there's going to be some room.
I think it's a good thing to start 3 to 5 rookies. I think it's a good thing to whatever Brian Flores touches, because I remember a while back we were talking about the roster changeover we had, the 27 new different players. Most of that was defense, and most of that was Brian Flores is doing, bringing the guys he wants over on this defense. Whoever he drafted, he could start because that's the guys he wanted for this defense. So I thought the 27 roster changeover was a bad thing. It wasn't a bad thing. It's what was needed to fix this defense from Donatel's situation.
And look, I'm the biggest Eric Wilson stan on this panel. I love me some Eric Wilson. Man, I do. But if they happen to just hit gold with Golday, where, Eric can't play forever, where he could step in a year or two and take over that starting spot, that's fantastic too. And look, Jacoby, I have a lot of hopes for Jacoby too. I really do. I have a lot of hopes for Jacoby. And let's just say he doesn't pan out. He's a 3rd round safety. He's not a 1st round safety. It's not like we drafted Dylan Linneman or whatever his name is.
It's not like we traded Jonathan Grenard to get that pick and draft him. It's not like that.
Who? Who?
Are we over that now, Fish?
Who did we trade? What do you have, like 4 sacks last year? Glad we got rid of him.
Sorry, Greener.
Don't tell me no prep. Oh, that guy. Okay, him I know. Man, it's a 3rd round pick at safety. If he don't pan out, it hurts a little less than if he was traded back when, say, there was a phenomenal football player at the same position available, and it doesn't hurt as much as that. So I want the kid to play well.
It's funny. I mean, he could end up being our highest drafted safety, on the roster, the way things might shake out, because Jay Ward was what? Was he a 3rd or 4th? I think he was a 4th. And Theo Jackson wasn't even drafted, I don't think. If he was, it was like 7th round, but I think he was a UDFA for the Titans. So that 3rd round, that's pretty high if Harrison Smith doesn't come back.
And that's okay, because I'm not a big fan of paying big money to safeties. It's just not a position I want to dedicate $20 million a year to. So, 3rd, 4th round, keep that price tag down just a little bit.
Hey, Tommy, I mean, I don't know if he took that from somebody, but if not, that was a fire line. That was a bar. Tommy Tommy always trying to have bars and wants mic ratings. He had one right there, but I feel he got that one from somewhere. So yes, the defense looking good. Jamal Adams, interested to see what he's going to do on this team, and we're going to find that out because on Saturday, our first preseason game, we have some Minnesota Vikings football on Saturday, and we will be live during the game. Now, we're not going to be showing the game and streaming it, but we'll be live watching the game, commenting on it, and talking with you guys. And that's going to be a Skol and Chill. So we'll be allowing you guys to come on with us and talk about the game with us as it happens. So we will be live during the game on Saturday morning. I'll be trying to wake up. Damn 10 a.m. game for me. I guess it's my preseason. I got to get in shape for this on the West Coast. So do join us on Saturday for that. Let's see. So over the next 3 weeks, the Vikings do have the 3 preseason games and the joint practice with the Ravens. We're going to start seeing glimpses of this 2026 team's identity, and the roster will start to take shape. Obviously, they're not going to show everything, but a team that is going through a transition and some scheme changes, I do feel we might see a little more than we've seen in the past few years under KOC. Typically, he hasn't been a guy to play his guys or show, a lot. I do think guys will play a little bit more, and I do think they'll show a little bit more. They have to. I mean, they're already behind the 8 ball a little bit with Kyler Murray. So the last 2 seasons, I think the starting quarterback played 1 series. I mean, I'm not going to make it a hot take, but if I was going to, I would say Kyler Murray will play at least 2 series. Like, he's going to play more than 1 series, in my opinion. Also heading into preseason, now that the quarterback battle is over, there is still some other battles out there, and it's for roster spots and it's for roster depth position. There's guys battling, maybe both make the team, but one's going to be the 3 and one's going to be the 4. Cody, what's one battle now that the quarterback thing's over that you're going to be interested in watching over these next couple weeks?
I think it's going to be the most fascinating battle, especially when we watch the game on Saturday against the New York Giants, and it's going to be Damon Claiborne versus Xavier Scott. I can see them both of those guys taking bulk of the carries during that game on Saturday. We saw what Xavier Scott could do last year. He kind of, a little bit of a turn up at the end of the year in the last 2 games. Xavier Scott was averaging a little over 4.6 yards carry for it. It looked like he was kind of turned on. I just don't think they're fully invested or believe in Xavier Scott, especially at the RB3 position. And it's what we're seeing out of Damon Claiborne after a rough OTAs and a rough couple of days of practice. He's turning it on. He's breaking runs out to the outside now, going to the house. So to me, the biggest battle is Damon Claiborne, Xavier Scott for that running back 3, which is probably the running back 2, knowing the health history of both Jordan Mason and Aaron Rodgers going into the season. It's going to be fascinating to watch, especially on Saturday versus the Giants, where those 2 guys will be taking both the carries.
Yeah, that's a solid pick, and I do think it's going to be a pretty good battle for that position. You just did spend some draft capital on Damon Claiborne, but Xavier Scott did show us some stuff last year. I mean, a lot in preseason and a little bit during the season. He did something that Damon Claiborne has been struggling with, and that was catch a touchdown pass. And as an RB3, you do need to be able to catch the ball. And that's where Claiborne is struggling. Like, yes, he is explosive, and if he gets a little bit of wiggle room, he can make something happen. Very exciting. So it's either going to be, Claiborne's breakaway home run speed, or do you want Xavier's pass catching and flexibility? Which one do you favor, Fish?
I'm not sold on Claiborne yet. I mean, I get the change of pace, and maybe if Jones wasn't there, I would. But I think Xavier Scott, his ability in the screen game, which he's demonstrated, I think I'm leaning more towards him. I think maybe we could get Claiborne to the practice squad, and then with an injury, bring him up. So, yeah. I mean, you never know. In this preseason game, I could watch Claiborne start bouncing stuff to the outside zone and turning on the Jets, and all of a sudden I'll be like, I've been with this guy forever. Day 1, baby. Hell yeah. But right now, as it looks, just for the way they fit.
I don't think it's out of the question that they do keep both of these guys. I mean, they have had 4 running backs on the roster at times, over the past few years, especially when they go and make their annual Cam Akers signing. Like they have done it. It's just it'll be interesting because I do think we kind of got a lot of depth we want to hold on to at other positions, like wide receiver. We might end up holding an extra wide receiver this year just based on the players that we have and not wanting to expose them to waivers in the practice squad. So it's possible we keep them both. I don't know how likely it is, and it's going to be interesting, and that's going to be a real battle during the preseason. And I think you said it, Cody. They're probably going to see the bulk of the carries through these 3 games.
Yeah.
What about you, Fish? What's one that you're going to be looking forward to?
I mean, we talked about it just a minute ago, kind of. It's that safety battle. Jay Ward, Theo Jackson, Jacoby Thomas. If there's a projected weak link in this defense, I think it is on the backside. And quite frankly, I'm okay with that. I would much rather have the weakest part of this defense be way back there than right up front where everything's happening. So just getting the best 2 players we can out there. Let's just assume for a second Harrison Smith ain't coming back.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just for the sake of this discussion.
Okay. For the sake of it.
For the sake of it, who are we going to put back there? Is Jamal Adams – is he a Josh Metellus guy? If so, he ain't going to be in cover too deep. He ain't going to be playing corners. He's going to be up hitting somebody. So between the 3 of those guys, who's going to be able to take the deep coverage, come over the top, and help with double covering wide receiver 1 when necessary, and who's going to be able to come up with that hit stick if they need to? And I think we're going to see a lot of those guys. I think they're going to have their opportunity. I think it might not even be too vanilla on what they're going to do with them, just because we got to see if they can do it to make a good decision. And, the whole camp battle thing with the quarterback, there's 2 things I'd like to say, and that's one, while they were doing this whole – the defense did not make it easy to judge the QBs, man. The defense made it hard as hell. There was no great statistics by either Murray or McCarthy during this QB battle where you could be like, all right, let's see what they could do. So, and a lot of that was coming from the cornerbacks. Chuck Demings had a pick or 2. The line was just – the defensive line was just imploding the offensive line around the QB's feet. I mean – but we didn't hear a lot about what the safeties were doing. We weren't hearing about plays the safeties were making on the ball or anything like that, and we really need to see what we got.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting one, and – it's a possibility that 3 guys are playing for 2 spots or they're playing for 1 spot. We don't know. You had mentioned, what do we want? Do we want the hard-hitting safety or do we want the guy that, could play center field? And if we want the guy that could play center field, then that's probably going to be Theo Jackson. He's probably the better one in that area. But as far as being a fit in B-Flow's defense, it's probably one of the other 2. But is there such thing as having too many of B-Flow type guys? Like, do you need kind of a traditional player at some positions that, give you a little bit of stability somewhere? Fish, I ain't saying all of them, but like, do you need a little bit of that?
Only at the defensive line.
You're like, my defensive line is not playing cornerback. All right. That's where I draw the line.
But if you think about it, everybody's on the line. It's ridiculous. And they start motioning guys out. You might see the middle linebacker start going to the safety position. That's how B-Flow's defense is. And like someone brought in the comments, 3-4, 4-3. It's technically a 3-4 in the stance positions they're at, because we'll have 3 down linemen on the team, but you still have linebackers and maybe ends or edges in the gaps in the center of that line, or maybe a safety there. I don't think you can have
2 guys down.
Yeah, to 2 guys down and 1 on the stand, right? And I think you can't have enough of the versatile guys on either positions besides the defensive line. I think you can run out there with all linebackers and still have a good defense with Brian Flores. It's just the way how he schemes it up and makes it chaotic.
And I think that's a load of shit. You need one, maybe two B-flow guys. The rest of them, if you have B-flow guys in your cornerback position where they're not just good, solid cornerbacks that can cover and do a little bit of tackling, they're going to get exposed. They won't be able to keep up with the wide receivers running good routes. Look at what happened to Metellus a couple of years ago against Tennessee, of all teams. He got exposed trying to cover. So you can have a Metellus. You could have Jamal Adams playing the Metellus role. If you want to call Harrison Smith a B-flow guy, I don't. I think there's plenty of safeties in the league that kind of do what he does, just not as good as he does. You can have that. The rest of it, they better be good at what they do or else they're going to get exposed.
So I think Jay's asking who hits the hardest on defense and who hits the hardest on offense? Is that what he's asking?
Who is the hardest? I guess.
Who hit the hardest on defense? Keith, who hit the hardest on offense? Oh, look at this new listener.
Wow. Ain't seen that name before.
Yeah. I haven't seen it in a while, at least. What up, E?
Wow, Skol,
I don't know. The hardest hitter might be Jacoby. Find out. Could be Jamal Adams. I think the hardest hitter on the offense might be Jordan Mason.
I think it might be Justin. I think it might be Justin Jefferson.
You know, he did lay out that guy on that block against Tampa Bay. He did do that.
Against Detroit, too. Remember that pick?
Oh, yeah, that pick. And he came, oh, my God. He put the hate on that dude.
Yeah.
Didn't he knock his own helmet off on that tackle?
Yeah.
I was like, JJ, don't ever do that again. Like, it was kind of sweet. Don't ever do that again.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it was as good as that
Fuller
hit you played earlier.
Can't argue with that. Riker hits harder than all of them.
Mm-hmm.
We got another new face.
Hey.
What up, Shaq?
What up?
So, Shaq, we were just talking about, preseason's getting underway, quarterback battle's over. There's still some other battles to be decided. Cody's really interested in the running back battle with Claiborne and Xavier. Fish is talking about the safeties, a three-way battle for maybe one spot, two spots between Jacoby, Jay Ward, and Theo Jackson. Is there a position battle out there that you're interested in?
Yeah, usually, I know Fish is the trenches guy, but the last couple of times I talked trenches, Fish is nowhere to be found talking trenches with me.
He's in the defensive backfield the last couple of times that you've done that.
I know. So my battle I'm looking forward to is Elijah Williams, Big Dub versus Isaiah Lodemilk. Pretty much, I know B-Flow, when I watched his interview, he was saying Lodemilk coming from the Steelers was a young guy, but he's able to play all along the defensive line. And Elijah Williams, I'm kind of rooting for because, he could be that untapped potential, maybe that next Jalen Redmond we all been kind of hoping for, a cheap prospect that's been underlooked. So hopefully, he can make that 53-man roster and we have a good solid rotation with Banks, Orange, Elijah Williams, Leroy Drake Rodriguez, Taki.
Taki. You had to throw Taki in there, man. I don't even know if we see Taki in preseason, bro.
You had me on the hook, Shaq. You had me, and then you just put too much drag out there.
But Loudermilk versus Elijah Williams, that's low-key a good one because I think, we all kind of jumped on the hype train of Elijah Williams during preseason. He was like that one guy that we always see in preseason and we think, oh, this guy's going to be a baller. Then the season comes around and we don't really see it, whether it was just kind of like a fluky preseason or they just don't really get the opportunity. And I'm going to say, in his case, he just really didn't get the opportunity. He did find himself, in the 7 games. And it kind of was like Redmond's first season where it's like, we didn't see you a lot, but when you were in there, we noticed you because you made a play. You're like, oh, Elijah Williams got in. So, maybe with a little more time in the rotation that those occurrences happen more often. But he is a young guy. We got a lot of young guys along this line, especially if you're going to have Caleb Banks and Big Citrus, Terry Ingram Dawkins, I mean, even Levi Drake Rodriguez, and Jalen Redmond. I guess I'm not going to call him super young anymore, but not a lot of experience on that line. Loudermilk has spent the last 5 seasons, playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he was a backup looking to carve out a bigger role with the Vikings. I just wonder, maybe does getting a veteran in there kind of something that B-Flow wants, kind of something that KOC wants, kind of have a little bit of leadership on that line, even if he's not in there getting a lot of snaps.
It could be the leadership part because, like you said, we're young and like somebody has to be out there to, set the tone for each level of the defense. I know right now we're missing somebody on the safety position, so that leader might end up being Jamal Adams due to his experience. As far as linebackers, at least we know with linebackers we got Blake Cashman and Eric Wilson, who's old enough to seen a lot that goes on in the NFL. But our D line is relatively young, so we do need some veteran leadership there.
Emiliano says, I see they haven't given up on McGlothern yet. Well, Charles Demings might put the nail in that coffin.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, McCarthy was on the list first. I think McGlothern's on the list second, so just wait for it.
And honestly, I was going to take Demings versus McGlothern as the one I'm most interested in, but I really don't think there's going to be much of a battle there. I was very high on McGlothern when we first got him as UDFA, watched the tape, was excited about him, saw him in preseason, looked good, had a good camp. It wasn't at the level that Demings is having right now. Like, Demings is not, and he's not only a good player, like he's like a cult favorite now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
What is he, the prophet?
Yeah, the prophet, the new last favorite Viking. Yeah.
I'm not going to go that far, Cody. I'm not going to go that far, but he is a guy that I definitely want to see make this team. Even if he's not going to play a lot, he brings a lot to this team, a lot of character to this team. And Metellus was saying, he's like, every time I pass that guy, he's saying some kind of inspirational quote to me. He's like, I have so many things I've written down that guy has said.
Like, they need to put his locker right next to JJ McCarthy.
Hey, man, that is not a bad idea, Shaq.
I've been saying
Shaq, by midseason, they need to move it to next to Kyler Murray's.
The wheel turns left, but you're always right.
Hey, Tommy, I agree that I named off a dope defensive tackle room, but that's what I'm saying. We do have a lot of good young talent on there, which is why, even though I would like to see Elijah Williams part of this team, they may go with Loudermilk just for the veteran presence. Like, because
what the great thing is about that? Go ahead, Keith. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, because either one of them, like, they might make the roster, but maybe not play so much. In that aspect, I think I'd rather have the veteran leadership, out there for practice and in the locker room than Elijah Williams. Even though I think he might end up being a better player, I don't know that he'll get the play time.
Mm-hmm.
That lends in a little bit to where I was going to go. One of the things I'm happy about, especially because of this draft class, is because we got a guy like Loudermilk, and it's like, okay, you were a backup guy over here at Pittsburgh, and we're not counting on you to become a starter. One of my biggest problems with Harrison Phillips was he was like the damn third-string defensive tackle for the Buffalo Bills when we got him, and here we were making him a starter. And it's like, come on, man. Come on. Can we have a little more quality than that? So now, okay, we got Loudermilk. He's a backup defensive tackle for the Steelers. He's coming in. It's like, nah, buddy, we appreciate you. You just sit right over there. We got some more talent we're working on over here. And I appreciate that. Finally, it's one damn draft. And the way that it seems to have affected this team, where it's like all of a sudden we're picking up these kind of low-range, mid-range free agents, and we're not asking them to become like starter one, and we need you to play like a great defender or whatever. okay, we just picked you up for depth, and if you happen to get some play time, great. And it's such a refreshing position to be in this year.
I like how you said.
I miss Harrison Phillips.
Yeah, I like how you said, Keith, about the leadership aspect, what Laudermilk could bring, because right now we're missing. There's a massive void in that leadership with Harrison Smith gone. So it's going to take multiple players, multiple veterans together to fill that void. And if it's at the expense of Elijah Williams, because we need a little bit more of that leadership, that's probably how it's going to play out. So.
Yeah, so that definitely a battle to watch. I mean, again, we haven't tried to sit down and put together our own 53. Normally we would have done like 2 by now, but we'll do one soon, and then we'll see, like, okay, we're thinking all these guys are going to make it, but there's not enough room for all of them. And then I think this year it's going to be a little tougher. I think last year, anybody who made a 53, you were within 2 or 3 picks, because there wasn't really a lot of surprises, because there wasn't a lot of good players on this team. I think this year, even though we didn't go and have a big free agency, I do think that we have found some gems through the little bit that we did in free agency and having a good draft. I do think there's going to be some tough decisions. So one of the ones that I'm going to be looking forward to is actually going to be Tyler Batty versus Chaz Chambliss versus Bo Richter. I was expecting them to go out and sign an edge, because we only really have Turner and Van Ginkel. I know we got some chess pieces that can line up at the edge, but I'm talking about bona fide edges. Really expected them to get Jadeveon Clowney. I'm surprised that didn't work out. Sounds like they didn't even, sniff that way. So was wrong on that one. Still thought they would bring somebody in. Heading into the first preseason game, I don't think that's going to happen now. So which one of these UDFAs is going to step up? Batty, Chambliss, or Richter? I'm not looking for a star. I'm looking for someone who could be what Dallas Turner was last season, and maybe even a little bit less than that. Like someone who can go out there, seal the edges, and get me 5 to 6 sacks. And I think what it's going to come down to is Richter and Batty. Chambliss, he's more of a chess piece type player. He's very versatile, and he's a run stopper. So, that's cool. But I'm really going to lean towards Richter, because I think Richter is more of the pass rusher, and this is his 3rd season on the team. And he's also been a key part of the special teams. So he has that, kind of dual role. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not counting the other guys out, but I do see it being Richter's job to take. And we are going to need it, because Van Ginkel does miss games. This is Turner's first time playing a starting role. Can he hold up for 17? I don't know. They like to rotate players. Who are they going to rotate? Give me Bo Richter.
What about Dave Murphy?
He'd be on the team for 2 years.
What about Dave Murphy? No, last I saw, he was in the UFL.
Shaq, we're going to fight.
So let's see. Tommy says Batty.
Yeah, I think it's Batty too.
Skullmaster says Batty. E says shaking my head, Bo. I don't know what that means. I think he doesn't want Bo. So here I am on an island, but I think it's going to be Bo.
I think it's going to be both of them.
It could be. It could be. This is another one of those positions where 2 of them could stay. I don't think all 3 of them stay.
No, not a chance.
It could be
probably
2 of them.
just one of them, because Terry Ingram Dawkins is slimmed down. He'll be more out there instead of playing with his hand in the dirt.
And that's true too. Thanks, Sparky. Thanks for that update.
Thanks.
Appreciate you. I was recording the game, but now I don't have to watch, so appreciate
Thank you.
No, I wasn't.
I did put a bet Kyle Schwarber home run, and I hit. So and Buxton's back, but we still lost.
So those are some battles for everybody to watch out for. But there are some other battles. You got Gavin Bartholomew versus Eurosec for the tight end 3 position. And, that's easy to laugh off. But KOC uses that 3rd tight end a pretty good amount. So that'll be interesting to see. I don't think they both make the roster, but one of them will. Gavin Gerhardt versus Michael Juergens at center. Blake Brandel, not a true center. And I think 3 out of 4 of us kind of believe in him as a center. It seems like he's kind of been struggling with the shotgun.
Yes.
The shotgun snaps. Like him and Kyler Murray are struggling. So this might be a preseason year where we have to actually watch the center.
Yeah.
We've mentioned it. Demings versus McGlothern. Shouldn't be much of a battle. I don't say. I still believe in Brandel, but the shotgun thing might throw a wrench in it, and we'll see how that goes. Last year was his first time ever playing center. So now he's got to learn a whole nother concept. So, yeah, definitely see how that goes. Dominique Orange versus Levi Drake Rodriguez. I think both obviously make the team, but who's going to start? Like, that's something to watch out for. Caleb Tiernan versus Walter Rouse. I don't think both of them make it. You know, who's going to be more versatile? Also, you took Tiernan in the 3rd round. Probably has the leg up on that. Speaking of leg up, Johnny Hecker versus Brett Thornton. I think people want Thorson just because of his name, but he was also a good kicker in college. Johnny Hecker is or was an elite kicker, punter. His average hasn't gone down. He's probably a better passer than Thorson, so it'll be interesting. It'll probably come down to whoever Reichard prefers. He'll probably make that call. He'll be like, Teasley, this is who I want. I like the way he holds the ball. Done.
They said Thorson been struggling with the holding.
Then he'll be out before it starts.
Who's struggling with the holding?
Thorson.
Yeah, it's going to be Hecker.
And then wide receiver, you got Dylan Bell, Jason Jones, and Dante Fleming. Jason Jones and Dante Fleming have both been flirting with making this team, over the past couple seasons, and they're already starting off looking pretty good. But Dylan Bell, early on in training camp, was getting a lot of hype. Haven't really heard his name too much lately, though. So it's going to be interesting to see what these guys do in preseason. And, they should get a lot of run, and they're going to get a lot of run with a good quarterback because J.J. McCarthy is probably going to play a lot in preseason. So this is going to be to the benefit of the wide receivers that, have a chance to really show out. And I think that they might keep one more wide receiver than they normally do just because of how much talent they have at that position. Do any of those honorable mentions really strike you guys as one to watch? No, you don't care, Cody?
No, no.
What about kick returner?
Maybe
a kick returner. I think we have a great kick returner in Price.
Yeah, Price is the dog. He might be named Mr. Mankato. They're saying, even though with the one-handed catch from Ty Felton, Miles Price has been putting on a pretty good show for kick return and all that. I think he was labeled as Vikings breakout player by CBS this year, just recently.
In order to do that, he's going to have to get on the field as a receiver, and I don't know that he's going to be able to do that. I did think there was a chance that Price would be able to get some wide receiver snaps, but then we signed Jennings, and that kind of pushed everybody back a spot.
Well, right now he's the wide receiver 4 on the official 53.
No, he's not.
I'm pretty sure he's the 4.
Forget about
Price.
Yeah, Price. I think they have Price over Felton.
If you believe the one that their media team puts out, I guess that KLC's even told us. Even KLC's told us about that. He's like, we have nothing to do with that thing that comes out.
Yeah. Yep, yep.
Go ahead, Michael Fish.
Having the joint practice against the Baltimore Ravens is the best situation for B-Flow to be able to test his new defense with his rookies from the draft and his new players. Because as Cody said earlier, there's issues with mobile quarterbacks. So having to go against Lamar, an unfamiliar face, will give us a more honest evaluation of where our defense is at before we hit the regular season.
I buy that because I think there's more value in these joint practices than in the preseason games. So Yeah, and I mean, Beeflo doesn't take it easy on our offense. So against another team's offense, yeah. What do you got, Cody?
I got something about JJ McCarthy. I think this demotion is the best thing for JJ McCarthy. I think, like I said earlier, I think it would have took 3 years to develop him and then to get him on the starting quarterback. Right now, he's technically only on year 1.5, right? And this little adversity that he is facing, how does he bounce back from it? How does his demeanor go? And he's already starting off on the right note, saying, hey, I want to be here doing all this. He's acting like what a quarterback should act like, because he's on a rookie contract. He came out and said, I don't want to be here no more, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't have a job in this league if he came out and said that. So he's doing the right things going forward. And I think it's the best situation for him because now he can sit behind someone that we thought he needed last year with the Aaron Rodgers thing at the beginning until we all completely jumped ship and we're like, yeah, let's go JJ McCarthy. And we saw what happened. So I think this is perfect for him. Sit behind Kyler Murray. Now the next step he needs to do is get closer to Kyler Murray. Figure out what he knows about football, learn from that and develop from that, and then see if you got a shot for the next year. Because right now you have a job in this league. You're playing quarterback, right? You're not starting, but you still have a job, right? How you go out throughout this determines whether or not you can keep a job in this league. So I think this is the best situation for McCarthy.
I agree. It sucks that it's kind of coming a year late.
Yeah.
But it is. And if he's willing to accept that and he sees that and he does what he says, like what he says is true, that he's not just being a politician out there saying that this is where he wants to be and he's going to attack every day, trying to be the best teammate that he can and learn and get better, then yes, this could absolutely be a great thing for JJ McCarthy and for the Minnesota Vikings. I buy that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of against it because I feel like we've absolutely just fumbled the entire point of drafting a quarterback, getting to have him for his rookie contract, build the team around him, go to the Super Bowl. Our first year was lost due to injury. Second year, he played pretty bad and lost half the season to injury. And now we've just decided to give up on him. So the benefit of being able to say we've got our rookie quarterback under our rookie deal, we can pay these other players around him to be awesome. We fumbled it, partly because of his lack of play, partly because of his inability. But the thing is we didn't commit one way. We kind of stayed in the middle of the damn road with this Kyler Murray thing. If we'd have just said, Carson Wentz has had a full offseason here. He's our backup. He's our quarterback too, and just rolled with J.J. McCarthy. There'd have been plenty of detractors that said, oh, we just gave it to him without challenging him again. Yes, because he's in his rookie deal, and we need to find out if he's good. And if he's good, then we can win with him on this friendly contract. And if he's not, then we get another quarterback in the next draft. We just Instead of going to the right or the left, we just stayed right in the middle. We're going to get squished.
I do think that build a Super Bowl roster around a rookie contract is kind of overblown. I mean, it's only been successful maybe twice.
In lieu of a Hall of Fame quarterback, it's the only option you've got.
Not really.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't think he was going to be ready until his third year in the league, and half of that was wiped away. That's my biggest gripe on McCarthy. I mean, we knew he was young. He was raw still. 700 passes in 3 years. Like, that's not much to go off of from his time at Michigan. So it just sucked. The injuries took away from McCarthy. I think if he stayed healthy for 3 years, he'd be the starter of this team, even if he sat behind someone for 3 of those years.
What up, Rap? We already dropped that episode. We dropped it earlier, and well done, my man. Well done. I would not have gotten that one, Rap. That was a pretty good pull.
Thank you.
That's pretty good. Rhett Ellison.
I feel bad for whoever plays Stumped with Fish next. They're really gonna feel that wrath.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a backup left guard that played 3 games
Who,
that
me?
season or something. Yeah,
I would
you.
never be so petty.
But see the talent. He has the arm talent, Robbie. Like he has the talent to play in the league. Fully believe that. He hasn't been able to develop it.
If only, Quasi and KLC listened to a real Viking knowledgeable person and sat his ass down for 3 years behind Sam Darnold. What could have been? But now we're playing QB carousel.
All right, Shaq, you got one?
Yeah, mine is more so general question. So I know we touched on it pretty much earlier in the live. Pretty much, years past, B-Flow is rare that he'll start a rookie on his defense. But now that we're seeing all these rookies get starter snaps and OTAs and practices, do you guys feel more so that it's because it's more open competition, or do you feel like it's a better draft class that we're seeing more rookies get starter reps? I'm leaning towards that it's more so that there's more open positions that these rookies get a chance to get starter reps compared to, they actually being
I think it
elite
was a better draft. I think it was a better draft. And I used one example earlier to support this. Jay Golday, we didn't draft him to be a starter, but he's getting starter reps because what he's showing and his versatility. Jacoby Thomas, 3rd rounder, we didn't draft him to be a starter, but he's getting starter reps. So I think it's just the players that we drafted and what they're showing not so much all.
Muted.
Keith? Can't hear you, buddy.
I think what he said was we should have drafted more USC players. If we did, we'd be in a better position.
No, he was definitely saying that Fish has been right all along and that he's rethought all his choices in life. And
you sure wasn't he saying, if you haven't subscribe to Let's Go podcast? We're trying to grow this
nothing,
channel.
Keith.
Turn to the stumped again.
You're not holding your mouth right, Keith.
He was talking about JJ McCarthy and the Vikings yanked him.
Yeah.
I'm excited for preseason because we get to see players more outside of the
Play.
battle. Like you get to know, what's going on with the running back position. We finally get to see this. What's going on with the defensive line, offensive line, wide receivers. Like it's nice to hear about something else besides the quarterback drama.
I'm so excited for the annual frustration of seeing this fringe player play his ass off in preseason, get all these great stats, and then he gets cut, and we're like, why?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I swear, Kyler Murray better start more than one series this preseason.
I don't think he
You
starts.
better.
I think
Say
McCarthy
something,
starts
Keith.
and he's on the sideline.
I think you guys are playing with me. I don't think it was ever not working. I think you guys are playing a trick on me and trying to get me off this damn screen.
Now we heard every word you said. Something about USC, something.
Yeah, I said USC sucks, and that's why we've only drafted like 5 players in our history, and Rap being one of them. No, I was just saying that to your question that I don't think it was because there was positions available and open like Jay Golday. He wasn't drafted to be a starter, but he's out there getting starter reps because of what he's showing. Jacoby Thomas was drafted in the 3rd round. He wasn't drafted to be a starter, but now he's going for a starter position. So Charles Demings might be putting Pierre in some trouble. So these guys are actually just going out there and proving it.
Yeah, and if these guys ball out this year, these rookies, and they're doing trick, our boy Rob B might have a seat next to the GM come next year's draft because it's looking like the best draft in the last 20 years. that we've had since we drafted Barr and Kendricks. You know, like it's looking really good. So he might just have himself a spot in that war room when it comes to 2027.
Oh yeah.
So guys, if we have a bunch of starters off of this draft, do we start side-eye glancing like, why didn't Rob B get that job?
Nah, because I think we're gonna have we're gonna have what Rob B gave us, but with also Teasley.
Mm-hmm.
Like Rob B's got some say. Like he's got more say than he had. I mean, Rob B was already kind of in that room before. Like now, like he's got an office. He's got his name plate on there. Like he's gonna be a part of the draft process. And for all we know, maybe Rob did not even want it. So there's layers to this. But like we said many times, at the end when Teasley did get the job, and before Teasley got the job, we became okay with Rob B ends up getting it. Whereas when it first was announced that he's the one, we're like, oh great, he's just gonna end up getting it. Like they're just gonna give it to him, guy no experience. Like, but then we end up liking him. So man, he definitely has a spot at the table.
Results matter.
Whoa, Jackson. Thank you for the $4.99. We do appreciate that. But he says that Demings will be cornerback 1 by the end of the season and will have a better career than Xavier Rhodes. One of the things you said was pretty hot. One of them not that hot. I think it's very hot.
Hey, Jackson, make sure to jump on with us Saturday while we're doing the whole game thing. I'd like to hear from you live, buddy.
He'll be cornerback 1.
I think Xavier Rhodes got at least 2 All-Pros.
I think Xavier Rhodes is overrated and not that good.
Yeah.
And overpaid.
Yeah, we haven't had a cornerback.
I think the roads were wide open. He don't even say Skol. Xavier Rhodes is pretty good. He was a pretty good player for a couple years. We just got beef. So for mine, I'm going to go with I think the Vikings need to play preseason almost like the regular season. I think they need to play players at starters into halftime, and I think they need to be a little bit more than vanilla because we play the Packers week 1. We play the Bears week 2. A lot of times in NFL season, those first couple of weeks are kind of like rev-up games. We don't get to have any rev-up games. We have to win those games. So we need to do our rev-upping in the preseason. And the only downside is the player can get hurt. A player can get hurt in week 1. A player can get hurt kicking a glass door and tearing their Achilles. Like, we need to start the rev up now. Our starters need to play in preseason more than starters play for any other team. Not just more than what they've been doing on the Vikings. They need to play at least into half for the first 2 games.
Yeah,
Shaq, our baby's all grown up.
KOC said Kyler Murray and JJ McCarthy will play Saturday against the Giants. Jefferson and Darisaw are likely to sit.
I'm actually okay with that.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm actually okay with
could
that.
sit. Jefferson could sit. Addison could sit.
No, Addison needs to play, and Addison will play.
What do you need to play for? He ain't gonna get any better.
Addison and he needs to. He hasn't even hit 1,000 yards yet, Shaq. I don't know if anyone's ever told you, but he hasn't even hit 1,000 yards yet.
He's declining every year.
He doesn't need to play.
Quentin Johnson
past 2 years has more receiving yards and touchdowns than him.
And that's with all the drops. He still has more yards and touchdowns.
With all the drops.
All we need is Rinaldi on here right now to say that he needs these players to play in the preseason, and then the circle will be complete.
Give Ty Felton, Jerron Jennings don't even need to play. Give Felton and all those other receivers reps. They're gonna need it.
No, I need my offense out there who is learning a brand new scheme with a brand new quarterback playing together and gelling. I don't need a brand new offensive line going out there and playing one series, and then comes week 1 and they've never freaking played together and stepping on each other's feet. And Fish, what you're missing, Fish, is I don't want them to go out there and play 1 series or 2 series. I thought that was pointless in preseason. They need to go out there and play this like a regular game.
Yeah. Jefferson, Addison, Darisaw don't need to play.
Addison is not on the level of them two.
Yeah.
I'm an Addison fan. I support. I want them to sign Addison, but he is not on their level.
I'm just saying, preseason, he's not going to get any better.
Do starters ever play week 1 of preseason? The last couple of years, that's been the only game that the stars have played for the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been one series for Sam Darnold. It was one series for J.J. McCarthy when they were the starters. It's got to be more. Week 1 and 2 can't be rev-up games. Those are division games. We have to start 2-0. Then we get that nice little, what looks like a soft stretch after those 2 games. Like a real chance to, go 5-1 or 6-0. But those first 2 games, they need to be wins. And Jackson, we will be live during the preseason game on Saturday. Sorry. And we'll be having people come on. So if you want to come on and talk with us during the game, we're not going to be streaming the game, but we'll be talking it during the game and bringing people from the chat on to talk with us.
Keith will be about 15 seconds ahead of me. He'll be like, oh. And I'll be like,
I'm like, this is using the same service.
We are. Damn backwater ass internet. Get you some fiber optics.
I'll be at the game.
So it's official?
It's official.
Go link up with Rinaldi then. That'll be fun. It'll be a good time. You get to see a lot of J.J. McCarthy. You're lucky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I finally get to see a Vikings game fresh without negativity around me.
You are the negativity. I'm telling you, you're 0-1 in regular season. It don't matter what happens in preseason. Preseason wins don't count. All right, let's go ahead and get into these purple prophecies and let's make some predictions and let's try to keep these preseason. Who's got one? Go ahead, Shaq.
My boy, Damon Claiborne will lead all running backs in preseason rushing yardage.
And the whole NFL?
And the whole NFL in preseason.
Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that. That's pretty hot too.
That's gonna be my prediction.
That
was a good one.
Cody's like, I don't got one, so I'm just gonna say that was my prediction and get mad.
I gotta make another one. I gotta do another one.
All right, Fish, go for it.
Chuck Demings and Jacoby Thomas are both going to have an interception this Saturday.
Ooh, that's hot. You know what? I'm going to the well for a third time, and it hasn't happened the last 2 years. But I'm going to say that Will Riker will kick at least 2 50-yard field goals, and one of them will be this Saturday.
I'm gonna feel bad if he kicked 2 50-yard field goals and they're not this Saturday.
Okay, the reason I'm doing that is because the last 2 years I've said 3, so I went down to 2, but I had to keep a little bit of spice on it. So one's gonna happen, and outdoors in New York, I don't know, man. I don't even know if I get the opportunity, but we'll see what's up. What do you got, Cody?
Kyler Murray will be 2 for 3, 20 to 25 yards passing, and that's all we'll get for stat wise from Kyler Murray preseason week 1.
So basically, your take is Kyler Murray will throw 3 passes.
3 passes. He'll be on longer. He'll be on for a sustaining drive. It'll end probably in a field goal. I think we're going to be running the ball a lot more, trying to figure out how we can incorporate the run game with Kyler Murray and all that. So I think that's how it's going to play out.
Keith, you lose your mic again?
I think he just said how much he loves us.
Yeah.
I like Jay Vikings' little line here. Yeah, Jay McCarthy is going to see the bulk of the passing. He's going to be the bulk quarterback for the preseason game. I think he probably gets pulled midway through the third quarter. So 150 yards, 1 passing touchdown. I can see it happening.
I've been looking for a reason to go spend money on a microphone, and I'm getting one right now. But it's probably not even the microphone. It's probably something else. Probably StreamYard, or it's probably the laptop. But damn it.
Well, Kyger, the snaps over his head aren't the problem. The snaps are coming in at his kneecap area and off to the sides. It's not really going over his head.
If you guys are still watching this show and you have not hit subscribe yet, why not? Please do so. Also hit that like button. Those are two things that really help us out, and it doesn't cost you anything, but it's tremendous help to us, and we appreciate it. All right, so I think that's going to be our show since we are doing double duty this week. We are going to be back on Saturday. At least a couple of us will be here. We're going to be watching the game. Again, we won't be streaming the game, but we'll be watching it, and we'll be talking through it, and we will have the lines open for any of you who want to come on and talk with us. Fig, I hope you're available, man. I want to talk some football with you, so you can hop on with us on Saturday. Jackson, E, it's been a long time, man. If you're available, come talk with us. Rinaldi, come talk with us. Tommy, Jay, I don't think you've ever come on here. Jay, come talk with us. Skol and Roll, get on here and talk with us on Saturday. We will be live for the game. Fig, we appreciate that. And his hot take, offense will be top 5 overall with Darrisaw playing all 17 fully healthy.
That's super hot.
I don't know which
so
part.
hot. I think Darrisaw playing 17 is the hottest part because, I mean, that just contributes into the top 5 overall.
Yeah. I think Darrisaw playing 10 games is hot.
All right. Shaq, final words.
Final words. I missed the part where we talked about favorite part of the all season. My favorite part of the all season was Kirk Cousins signing with Vegas. You don't know how scared I was that he was going to make a reunion with my favorite football team after we got rid of his ass. It took a long time, but we finally got rid of his ass, and I'm okay with it. Other than that, if you haven't subscribed, like Keith said, this is your opportunity to subscribe. We're trying to grow this channel. The goal was to reach at least 1K before the season start. It's looking unlikely, but we can get there as close as possible. If you're feeling generous, you can send donations by going on Cash App, typing in Let's Go, or by clicking the $ sign on YouTube. You don't have to donate, but we appreciate any donations that come this way. Rinaldi, I hope to see you at the Giants versus Vikings game Saturday. I'll be out with my family. They're Giants fans, so there's that.
Speaking of donations, for those of you that made donations during our 12-hour Skol-a-thon, we finally got all the money together and accumulated, and we will be donating $2,900 to the Minnesota Vikings Foundation tomorrow.
Nice. Woo! Hell yeah.
Fix my MVFU account. Send me a message called Master Keith Hansen. I don't know what's wrong with your account. Send me a message. I'll see what I could do. What do you got, Cody?
Hey, football is here Saturday. Very, very, very first game of the year. Preseason or not, it's going to be fun watching all the guys other than the quarterbacks. That's all we've been hearing. So finally watch them on the field and play, and then make your determinations on who should be on part of this team coming into the 53. But other than that, hey, you guys listen to us. We can also listen to you. So if you got some trouble, just come over the net, and we're sure we'll talk to you. So other than that, hey, let's have a great preseason game. Watch JJ McCarthy throw for 150 yards and play bulk of the snaps. I think that's probably the most exciting part too. Yeah, just have a great day. Have a great game. Let's go.
I'm wearing my JJ McCarthy jersey on Saturday. I don't give a It's going to be the last time I can wear it this year. Fish.
For Vikings fans, by Vikings fans. I watched the show last Friday morning while I was recovering, and I appreciate all the kind words and thoughts and everything and all the bullshit. But I just want to tell you something that a lot of times Cody will talk to you about reaching out for help. So I'm going to take a different angle. I'm not going to the doctor. That's my stance, and that was the hill I was ready to die on, and I almost did. Don't wait for it to be too late. Don't be stubborn. If you got something wrong with you, get checked out. It got a little hairy, and I could have cut it off a whole lot easier. So just take good care of yourself and don't try to self-diagnose. And that's pretty much it. Skol. to 20 more years, fellas.
20.
All right, that's our show. Thank you guys who rocked with us all night and who rocked with us for a little bit, and to the super chats, and just for being Viking fans that like to hang out with us and talk Viking football. We enjoy it. It's fun. I look forward to this every week. We will be back next Thursday doing this again, but before that, we will be here Saturday talking about the game while the game happens, and we'll be inviting you on to join us. So see you guys nice and early on Saturday. Till then, let's Skol.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go! For Viking fans, Minnesota Vikings.